What is up, guys? It's your boy Dash, and we are back again with another episode in the series where I will be talking about all of the tracks in Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, talking briefly about the time trials and the ring rallies and etc. etc. Today we are looking at Mystery Caves. If you guys have not seen the first episode in this series about Crash Cove, where I actually end up talking a little bit about the techniques that I'll be talking about throughout this entire series, feel free to go check that out if there's anything I talk about in this video that has you scratching your head. So, without further ado, let's get started with the time trial. So right here at the start of the time trial, the first thing that we're going to do is go to the right a little bit and then start a power slide to the left where we get 2 mini turbos and then slide to the right to get 2 more mini turbos while also hitting both of the turbo pads. In doing this, we also hit the left turtle to get a hang time boost. The reason all of this is kind of important is because we need all of those reserves to be able to get through this first shortcut without losing fire. Of course, you can actually make it through it by just power sliding parts of it, but it's a lot slower if you're not just jumping through the shortcut. In this game, as you're going on the off-road, it is fast to just kind of bunny hop throughout it because the fire will propel you forward. So if you do not get a full complete boost all 4 times, or you're kind of short, you can play it safe and just kind of power slide through the last part of it and just power slide to the left out of the shortcut, but obviously the faster way is just to bunny hop through it. Moving forward, just power slide over the turtle, and then as you land you can kind of just push forward. And the main reason that we needed to take the shortcut the way that we did is actually just so we can make the cycle of these fireballs coming up. So you're gonna see the fireball's on the right there, and it's on the right here, and then it's on the left here. So we don't even have to worry about the fireballs at all. And as we come up here, our best choice of action is actually to avoid the turtles altogether in that double turtle section, which is kind of funny. So we're just going to go to the left of it and just do it that way. So starting lap 2, and we're going to just see most of the stuff done all over again. You take that shortcut, just kind of bunny hop through it. You shouldn't be low on reserves this time, so you should be able to just bunny hop through it. So one other thing I should actually talk about is the fact that if you are on the wrong cycles for these fireballs, for the second and third ones, you can actually just jump on the inside line and avoid the fireballs altogether. I might pull up a clip at the end of this time trial so you can see what that looks like, since I actually do not have to worry about it in this run whatsoever because the cycles are just that good. So, moving on to lap 3 again, we're just holding fire this whole time, making sure we do not run out and trying to cut these lines as close as possible while also trying to maintain where we are with like the turtles and stuff like that, because if you hit the turtles in this game, they're just super inconsistent. You'll see that a lot of times on like the double turtle section that you're if you hit them, you're gonna bounce upwards. So again, for that double turtle section, you just go on the left side of it and just kind of jump through the water. And there you go, that's the end of the time trial itself. Now again, I'm gonna quick try to show what it looks like if you're on wrong cycles. You can actually just clear it on the left side or the right side of the fireballs. So you do not really have to worry about hitting those things. And you can actually pull it off on the first set of fireballs as well, but it is slightly harder to do that. Definitely a little bit more risky. So let's move into Ring Rally. Alright, so admittedly, this is actually the first time I ever did the Ring Rally on this course. So we're going to hit some rings right off the start, and basically it actually has us following a similar line for the first little bit. Then right after the shortcut, there's on the left sides where the next set of rings are. And then we go on the left side of the split as well to get the rings over here. As you're going through the fireball section, it wants you to go to the center, and then the left, and then the center. Pretty straightforward. And then you jump through those rings and then go to the center of the turtles for the next set of rings. And from there, you can either bounce off the left turtle or go completely in between them to go to the last set of rings. So from here, we're just repeating the cycle, going slightly faster each lap until we get to about lap 3 at least, when we have these orange rings that are insanely hard to see in the fireball section, gotta admit. But At least they're in the same spots every single lap, so you do know where they're at. As these laps go on further, you're gonna start to see the shortcut section becomes obviously the hardest part about all of this, in my opinion, because it's kind of a tight space to handle with blue fire, but that's gonna be your main nail in the coffin. That the big jump after the fireballs is actually gonna start to be a little bit annoying as well, because you're gonna start to be able to fly over the rings soon, so there's that as well. And yeah, for me, I personally just continue to try to avoid the turtles, especially as I get faster fire, because I really don't want to just fly over the rings completely. And then after lap 7, you're gonna really have fun with the shortcut section, and then even then, if you make it through that, you still have to also make it through the set of rings immediately afterwards, which requires you to hard lift immediately out of the shortcut. So this is where it really starts to get kind of challenging with the zigzagging that you gotta do on these ring rallies. So we're now on lap 8 with the smallest rings, and we're flying. And as you can see, I really have a good time trying to go through the rings in the shortcut now. Oh yeah, also worth noting, you might not want to jump off of the turtles, especially if you make it to like lap 8. You might just jump really far right over the rings. Actually, you can honestly do that with a little bit of RNG on the earlier laps as well, even before you get blue fire, and somehow just get a moon jump. Nobody really knows what causes it, but that's a thing. That's why I would suggest probably not jumping off of the turtles later on. You can hit the turtles, just don't actually physically jump off of them. So that concludes Ring Rally. I made 11 laps with my very first run. I think the track's honestly pretty easy, but the shortcut can be pretty brutal. So that leaves one more section that's going to be talking about this track online. So at the start of Mystery Caves, we've got, again, similar strats as to before. If you choose to not take the shortcut, you can actually get a set of boxes to get yourself a weapon, or you can choose to take the shortcut and get ahead of the pack. Then after the second set of turtles, there's another set of boxes right there to finally get a weapon if you so chose to skip them. On the way down in the split, there's also another set of boxes, and then after the first set of fireballs, there's yet another one, our third set, unless you really want to count the 2 boxes on the split, a set on their own. So our fourth set, right before the double turtles, there's a Wumpa crate off to the right. That moon jump right there is why we choose to avoid the turtles most of the time, by the way. So there's also 3 Wumpa crates in this entire track, I believe. There might actually be another one, but I've never not taken the shortcut on this track, so I can't remember if there's one over there. But the first one is going to be after this split here. It's right in the middle, if you want to swing wide for the Wumpa there. And hopefully this actually this will actually showcase a little bit the inside line cutting that I was talking about. Then our next Wumpa crate is right after the double turtles on the right side there. And then our final one is on the right side after the very last set of turtles. So I do honestly want to say that I think this track is really good for online because I think it's balanced in a way that doesn't cause complete mayhem right off the start. Also worth noting is the part where if you do lose fire at all, there is actually a boost pad right here on this huge downhill section to regain it back. But again, going back to the balancing discussion, if you will, I think this track isn't bombarding you with boxes every 5 seconds, basically. So the item balance is kind of alright. You actually get a chance to, if you choose to take the shortcut, you can kind of get ahead a little bit, but not enough that you can completely outrun any sort of catch-up item whatsoever, which I think is a pretty good choice there. Also, just because the turtles are inconsistent doesn't mean you can't go a consistent line. So I think, honestly, most of the things that are negative about this track, which are pretty much just the turtles, if you ask me, are pretty much negotiable for the online setting. And I think the items aren't so overwhelming that it all becomes unbearable. Overall, I would actually say this track is pretty good now that I've learned how to basically avoid the turtles and get a faster line through there. So that's actually going to be it for this episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed and maybe learned something, and I will see you guys next time with everybody's favorite track within the first couple months of the game, Sewer Speedway.